former U.S. vice president, accepts full responsibility for the secret documents discovered at his Indiana residence. Mike Pence, a former U.S. vice president, has acknowledged that he bears full responsibility following the discovery of secret documents at his residence in Indiana. In his first remarks to the media following the discovery, Mr. Pence said he was unaware that the records were at his home, but he later clarified that this was not an excuse. At Florida International University, where he was speaking on the economy and promoting his new book, So Help Me God, Mr. Pence said, "Let me be clear, those sensitive documents shouldn't have been in my personal residence. There were errors, and I accept full responsibility." The secret documents were found at the homes of current and past top U.S. officials, and Mr. Pence's team made the discovery public earlier this week. The discovery of sensitive documents at President Joe Biden's Delaware home, his former Washington office, and the Mar-a-Lago club owned by former President Donald Trump is already the subject of an investigation by the Department of Justice. Mr. Pence's public admission of guilt on the documents handling differs from Mr. Trump, his previous employer, and Mr. Biden's responses in their respective situations. The search of Mar-a-Lago was criticized by Mr. Trump as one of the most horrific abuses of power by any administration in American history, and he speculated without providing any proof that the documents may have been planted by the investigators. Despite expressing astonishment at the discovery of the records, Mr. Biden said he had no regrets about how the public was told. 5 months after Mr. Pence informed the Associated Press that he did not take any classified records with him when he left the vice presidency, documents were found at his residence. When questioned if he had any memory of such information, he replied, "No, not to my knowledge." The statement, which ordinarily wouldn't be noteworthy coming from a former vice president, was noteworthy at the time because, on August 8, FBI agents had raided Mr. Trump's Florida estate in the course of looking into possible violations of 3 different federal laws and had taken classified and top-secret documents. The materials that agents had seized, according to Mr. Trump, were all declassified. Following recent revelations by Mr. Biden's team that records were discovered in his former office and in his Delaware home, Mr. Pence claimed he made the decision to conduct the search of his home out of an abundance of caution. He said that he had instructed his attorney to fully comply with any investigation and collaborate with the National Archives, Department of Justice, and Congress. The former vice president stated that the proper handling of confidential documents was essential for ensuring national security, but he hoped that people would see that he had acted quickly to fix the mistake. After the January 6, 2021 uprising at the U.S. Capitol, Mr. Pence, who is still at odds with Mr. Trump, is thinking about challenging his former employer for the White House in 2024. Mr. Pence started his candidacy in November. Despite not having formally begun his campaign, Mr. Biden has stated that he plans to run for re-election in 2024. In reference to a potential White House run, Mr. Pence said he had been thinking about the difficulties the country was facing. He emphasized the economy and immigration issues while claiming that the Biden administration had dismantled numerous successes. "We are really considering our options for the future," he added.